I need to dampen your expectations. I haven't been doing it very long. I normally wouldn't use notes, and I won't use a lot of notes, but you'll forgive me, some of it's a little bit new, so I don't want to forget it. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
I want to say, Unitarian curry nights are better than Baptist curry nights. That's all. You certainly know how to make your curry here, and even your theology's a bit dodgy. I had to get that one in, sorry. I'm Alan. Hello. Hello. Ken. Yeah. Hello, Ken. Did you come to this church, Ken?
No.
No? Where'd you go? Did you go at any church?
Dean Row. Dean Row, which is near Winston.
Dean Row, did you say? Okay, what type of church is that?
Unitarian.
Unitarian, very good. Are there any non-Unitarians here tonight? Well, there's a few. See, I'm a Baptist and I'm an evangelist, so if you raise your hand, I'm going to save you. I'm only messing. Where are you from?
Union Street, URC.
URC Church. Bob's wife?
Malcolm Quakers.
Quakers, very good. And
St Mark's Anglican.
St Mark's Anglican. So we've got quite a mix in tonight. Isn't this a fantastic project? Isn't this a great room? When we arrived, there was people playing folk music over there, I think it was, yeah? Playing some song. Don't look so angry at me. I thought he was playing as well.
He was.
He was.
I was playing the
Playing the fiddle.
Playing the fiddle.
He was playing the fool.
Oh, playing the fool.
I was drumming.
All right. Oh, sorry. Okay.
You know, it's a very skilled job. Making people keep beat.
All right, okay. Very good. I didn't hear any drums, that was all. I thought you had a guitar. A little one.
Ukulele.
I thought it was a kid's guitar. Ukulele, sorry. You're obviously getting offended by that. Calm down, I'm not staying. This is a great project. It took years, I guess, for it to get to this stage, and I think this looks fantastic, and it's a really good part of what the church is doing. As I said, my name's Alan. And I'm from Liverpool, don't worry, I've come in my own car. I might not go home with it, that's a different matter. And as a person from Liverpool, I guess I'm a bit of a cultural oddity, because I've got a job. As you know, I'm a Baptist minister. I had to get a job because I couldn't steal, to be fair.
That's why most of us have a job.
Yeah, no good at robbing. Yeah, no, so I have to get a job instead. And as I say, I haven't been doing this very long. So, do you want to come in, mate? Come on in. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay, you're the chef. Okay. We need to give a round of applause for all the people that are in the kitchen back there. Fantastic. Yeah, it was really good. And when I first started off, because stand-up comedy is different to preaching and stuff like that, and I go to lots of comedy clubs, which I don't know whether anyone been to a comedy club? National Comedy Club, a couple of people, not many. Comedy clubs are pretty particular. They're quite, yeah, they're different than church. Let's just say there's a crowd for starters. You know, it's a bit different than most churches. And I remember I said to the fellow who was running the course, oh, you know, I'm starting up. How do I do this? How do I do it? And you know, have you got any advice for me? And he said to me, well, it's best if you self-deprecate. People always like that. Deprecate, yeah? I'm dyslexic, right? So my first gig didn't go very well. It was a bit of a mess, I'd say. So I packed that in after my first gig, because that wasn't very good, a bit smelly. And I've been doing it since, and comedy clubs are quite hard to do it in, and church. In fact, it's actually easier to do stand-up comedy in a comedy club than it is to do it in this setting, because people generally go to laugh. It's just when I mention to them that I'm a Baptist minister, the room goes silent. And I mean, like, it's a conversation killer. I get up and I go, oh, no. And I go, I've got a funny job, you know. I'm a Baptist minister. Drop a pin, seriously. And I have to explain what a Baptist minister is, which is kind of normal in that setting. In this setting, I guess I don't have to explain what a Baptist minister is. Most people know what a Baptist minister is, yeah? A bit like a vicar or a priest, but I don't wear frocks, yeah? That kind of type of stuff, yeah? Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I've been talking to Bob, and I'm not really sure what a Unitarian is. I was beginning to think that, to be honest. I was thinking to myself, people say, well, Ray said to me, what's a Unitarian? I went, to be honest with you, I haven't got a clue. I trained with Bob for a few years, and I still haven't got a clue what a Unitarian is. Most people out there in comedy clubs don't know what Baptists are. Okay, so I have to explain to them what I am. And to be fair with you, a lot of people, my official title is Pastor Alan Finnegan. But when people say Pastor Alan, I think that's a question, you know? I'm trying to give carbs. You might not have noticed that, hopefully. But people say to me, you don't look like a Baptist minister, you know? Like there's a look. You don't look like a Baptist minister. You look like you should be on a Giacomo advert, you know? You've seen the adverts, all my clothes with signs of up to 5XL. Someone said I look more like Kung Fu Panda and bought me a t-shirt just to prove it. I don't know what you think. Kung Fu Panda? No? and a lot of people say to me, Alan, you don't sound like a minister. Again, like what do ministers sound like? A lot of people say you sound more like John Bishop. There's a bit of difference between me and John Bishop, except for the few million quid, you know, the load of teeth that he's got. I'll probably never ever be a bishop, you know what I'm saying? I don't sound like a bishop, a Baptist minister. That's because I haven't always been a minister of a church. I mean, it's not like you're born one, is it? You know? I'm not born one with a collar on and a slightly effeminate voice, are you? You're not born that, you know. Although in Liverpool, what they've started doing in Liverpool is tagging babies. Have you seen this? Where they put a tag on their ankle? It's for safety because in the women's, some kids went missing at one point. And they started tagging them, but they're telling us it's for safety. I just think it's to get us ready for when we're older. Yeah, so I haven't always been a minister. I mean, I used to work on building sites, to be honest. I was a builder. I used to work on groundwork, digging holes for a living was my job. That's what I did. It was a proper job rather than a minister's job. Ministers only work one day a week, for 1 hour. For 1 hour. I mean, it is antisocial though, because when we're at work, most people are out enjoying themselves. I used to have a proper job. I used to be a builder, digging holes for a living. And I guess it's just progressed a little bit now. I don't dig them anymore, but I put people in them. Just a bit more finesse involved, I think. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I haven't always gone to church. I didn't start going to church until I was 16, which is a bit of a strange age possibly to go to church. I thought missionary was a position. Apparently some people go abroad as well though. That's what I was told. I didn't really know much about church or anything like that, and it was all a bit of a mystery to me. And I had to train to be a minister, which is where I met Bob. I can tell you so many stories, but you probably already know about Bob. I also met Danny. Danny used to be here. Danny, yeah? He was placed here. Kind of Crosby, that's his name. Danny Crosby. I had a conversation with Danny once, because when I found out I was dyslexic, Danny said to me, so do you worship a god or a dog? I think I've got that one sorted. I'm not sure about you Unitarians. Sorry again. But that was an actual conversation with Danny, yeah. So I had to train to be a minister. And as I say, that's where I found out I was dyslexic. Which, to be honest, was really good. I mean, forget the extra $40 and a new laptop. Until that point in my life, I'd just been thick. You know? Now apparently I'm a genius. I can't read, write, spell or do maths, but I'm really good with my hands. So I met Danny, I met Bob there, and I trained. It took me 9 years to train to be a Baptist minister. 9 years. I mean, how long did it take you? About 2 years for a Unitarian minister? That shows the quality, you see. No, it doesn't. I'll get to it now. 9 years it took me. It is only a 3-year course. But it took me 9 years, and it had nothing to do with my dyslexia. It was probably because it was in Manchester, yeah? And with this accent, I just about survived in Manchester. I think the denomination thought, we'll send him there. If he lives, he'll be all right. And also, never tell a Scouser what to do if you're from Manchester. So they told us to give up something for Lent. I gave up going to chapel. I thought it was a good move, personally. But yeah, I had to train to be one, and you know, being dyslexic wasn't easy. I mean, you don't want to get things mixed up when you're dyslexic, do you? I once joined a jogging club. Wasn't a jogging club, let's just leave it there. It involved parked cars, that's all I need to say to you. Yeah, it wasn't good, there was loads of mix-up, and to be honest with you, I'm still on probation now. 9 years training, and I'm still on probation, which is kind of cool where I come from. It's a bit of street cred, so it's not too bad. And in all that time, you'd think I'd be an expert, wouldn't you? Yeah? You think I'd be an expert? Yeah? 9 years training. You'd think I'd know what I'm doing. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. I still haven't. I make it up as I go along. Nobody knows this. Don't tell anyone from our church. He's the only one who knows. Right? I make it up as I go along. Because no one, to be honest with you, 9 years of training, they don't train you to do what you're supposed to do. They just don't train you to do what you're supposed to do. I don't know. What did you used to do for a living?
You don't want to know.
I do.
Chartered accountant.
Chartered accountant. Very good. Now, I'm guessing you had to have some qualifications for that, even back in the day. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What did you do
What?
to get your qualifications?
Worked like a dog. I hardly had any time myself from the time I was about 16 till the time I was 21.
So for 5 years you trained?
Work during the day.
Yeah.
In this office.
Yeah.
Learning how to add up and all this sort of stuff.
That's a basic requirement of an accountant. You need to get inventive as well, apparently. So you can do an MP's accounts.
Right. And then worked all night, all evening, every evening, hardly had any time to myself.
So for 5 years.
It's so sad. You know, they reckon it's a sad occupation.
This is getting a bit longer.
Yeah.
Thanks anyway.
I should have been an actuary. Now that's, do you know what an actuary is?
Yes.
No.
Well, an actuary is a chap who finds accountancy exciting.
They earn a lot of money too.
Wow. Okay. So 5 years it took you to train.
That's right.
5 years it took you to train.
And another 30 years
doing it.
doing it.
Yeah, and then so you learn to add up, which is a basic requirement, and to do books and all that. Because being an accountant, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In those days.
What do you do, mate? Or have you done? Or
I used to be a taxi driver.
used to be a taxi driver. So basic requirements of a taxi driver is you need to know where you're at
Yeah.
and where you're going.
Yeah.
I used to be a taxi driver. I was the worst taxi driver in the world. I was. He's laughing because he knows. Right? I'm not making this up. This is true. Someone got in my car once and said to me, "Take me to McDonald's in Crosby, mate." We were in Boot. You don't know the geography. It doesn't really matter, right? I said, okay. Where's Crosby and McDonald's? Where's McDonald's in Crosby, mate? He went next door to your office. It's the worst taxi driver in the world. Seriously.
No, well, that's exactly what you said, right? If ever you don't know where you're going, always ask your passenger, because they'll take you the longest route and you get there.
Bear that in mind if I ever get the sack. So yeah, so you have to learn your way around. Basic requirements of the taxi. What else did anyone do? What did you do?
Typing.
Typing. You need to learn how. You have to use a typewriter, I guess it was in the day. That pen key's really hard.
Yeah.
Have you seen people who do computers who used to type? You batter the keyboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you noticed that? You do, don't you? You batter it like it's still them old-fashioned arm things. Yeah. Ding. Yeah. So typing, base and setting out letters, all that type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a minister of a church. What do you think they taught me to do? What should I have been taught to do? Funerals. Funerals.
Committees.
Weddings, Baptisms. You think they teach, especially as a Baptist, you think they teach you how to do them 3 things, wouldn't you? They don't. They don't. They never taught us how to do any of that. Had to make that up as we went along. You know what they taught me? Hebrew. And Greek. Hebrew, where I come from, is when a guy puts the kettle on. Yeah? The only Greek I need to know is kebab. Maybe hummus. I'm not sure. You know, olives are nice and feta, but kebab will generally get me what I want. So yeah, they don't teach you stuff. I mean, you think they'd at least teach you, you know, how to do a damp course, wouldn't you? But some churches stink, don't they? Let's be honest. All balls up a window in an emergency. We'll have to build one of them thermometer things so I can have my own new roof fund. Yeah? I want my own new roof fund, you know? But no, they don't teach you anything there. So I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, basically. I'm a Baptist minister, I've been one for like 8 years now. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. We're a bit weird Baptists, I think. A little bit weird. We do communion with them little cups. Anyone comes in from outside thinks we're having tapas and shots. We do adult baptisms. People say to me, what do you do? Because I mean, to be honest, I don't want to blow the ministers up in the room, right? But it can be an easy job if you want it to be. Yeah? I know I said you only work 1 day a week and an hour a week a day. But it can be easy if you want it. And it can be a nice job if you can get the right type of job. But I'm in a church in Finnegan, which is in Bootle, which is the 2nd most deprived place in England, right? So it's not your average nice, middle-class, leafy, hello pastor type of job, do you get what I mean? And we're already a bit weird Baptists. And so we come across a lot of colourful people, and a lot of what I do is dealing with colourful people. And one of the things we do as Baptists is adult baptisms, okay, by full immersion. We don't do kids.
Do you heat the pool?
We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. Adult baptism by full immersion. If you don't know what that is, that's basically when you get someone, you push them under the water, and you bring them up. If you like them. If you like them. Yeah. If you don't like them, hold them there and play till the bubbles stop. This one's going to meet Jesus a bit quicker than he thought. Yeah. And I get people in our church who want to be like Jesus. They want to get baptised like Jesus got baptised. Because I don't know whether you know, but Jesus got baptised in a river. There was a big difference in Jesus getting baptised in a river. It was in Palestine. But it's really warm, right? I'm from Bootle. We've got the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. I've got to brush shopping trolleys out the way just to get in. Going to stop, I found my bike. To be honest, I'll never forget my first baptism. My first baptism, man. I'm not messing, this is true. 96-year-old man. And we normally heat the pool. Only this time, the heater broke. I need to explain pool to you first off. Pool for us in our church is one of them kids swimming things, you know, with the little frame around, 10-foot round thing out this side. That's our baptismal pool. So it's nothing religious. It's very like, it looks a bit flimsy. 96-year-old man. The heater breaks on the pool.
Could he climb the steps?
Yeah, he was okay getting in. He wasn't too bad. We'll get to that again as well. You're jumping ahead of my step. You've seen this, haven't you? Notice Bob put the act on YouTube, which is a bit like selling a DVD before the tour, isn't it? So it broke, right? It was freezing. We cryogeniced him. He was 96, he literally was 104. What he failed to tell us though, I think you helped me do it, what he failed to tell us though was he had a colostomy by now. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. My next baptism, something always goes wrong when I do a baptism. My next baptism, literally my next one, we fixed the heater, right? But apparently it'd been half broke all the time we've had it. So, all the time we've had it and used it in the previous times, we put it on and it was only working on half power. We fixed it. You know where this is going, don't you? We put it in the water, hoping to heat it up for the Sunday. I turns up Sunday morning, it's like a Turkish bath. There was drips coming off the ceiling. I swear, I think there was 3 fellas in the corner in white towels. Right? It was like a Turkish bath. We sprawled and we screamed like a lobster, this fella. His name was James. I'm not making this up. His name was James, right? We only had to throw a few carrots in. We had a roll stew. That pool burst, okay? Like a tsunami across the church. Flooded the church, right? I'm not making this up. You couldn't make this up, right? So, we cleaned up on that, and then we had a few baptisms earlier on this year. Of three people, or 5 people it was actually, but 3 of the people were from our drop-in, which is our more cultural people that come to church. And I had to go and buy a pool, right? Paddling pool, you know, the big swimming pool, as I've said. Oh no, I was over years ago, but it's out here. These are only 30 quid. You know what I'm saying?
It's only 5 quid for a shovel.
I had to go and buy a pool. Bear with me. Yeah. It's covered, don't worry. I had to go and buy a pool, but it was in April this year when it snowed. Do you remember the snow this year? Yeah. Well, it was a day that it was actually snowing, a blizzard, right? And I had to go and buy a pool. A swimming pool in a blizzard. I mean, people think I'm already mad because I've got imaginary friends. Right? When you're buying a pool in a blizzard, you look crazy. Trust me, you just thought I was crazy in Macro Supermarket, whatever it was called. Anyway, I goes to buy it, and it wasn't the pool buying season. I couldn't get the pool I wanted. I ended up with a Rainbow Play Centre with its own slide. Which, to be honest, it came in handy because one of the women was a bit big and couldn't get up the ladder. We had to put her on the slide and push it. It was like SeaWorld, the front row got soaked. Kids wanted to swim with her and everything, you know. I thought she took her a bit far and she started balancing the ball. So yeah, so we do baptisms, which is a bit weird, and all my baptisms are a bit weird. We do weddings, yeah, I do weddings now, because you do the occasional wedding in Liverpool, yeah. Believe it or not, you do the occasional wedding in Liverpool, and but most of the weddings I've done have been a bit like Jeremy Kyle. Been like an episode of Jeremy Kyle, I've got to be honest. I've done my brother-in-law's wedding recently. My brother-in-law's 50, he married someone who was 24. I wouldn't mind, he's ugly, right? And he's got no money. So I have no idea what she's doing, but anyway. And they've got 3 kids already, right? So he decided he wanted to make an honest woman of it. And they've named 24, yeah, 3 kids. They've named their kids after a bit like the Beckhams, you know, to remind them of the conception. Yeah? Yeah, so they've got Stella, Chardonnay, and little baby Sham, which is actually short for Sambuca, but he's got a list. And it was at their wedding that I realised that all weddings originate in the northeast. Don't know whether you got taught this in college, Bob? In your 2 years training, Bob, I don't know. 2 years training. Not that I'm bitter. 2 years training. All weddings originated in the northeast because there's not a lot of lines in a wedding, I don't know whether you know this, that are actually necessary. There's only a few that are legal. There's one sentence basically, isn't it? And it's this: I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful reason why I. That's why they're all from the northeast, yeah? So we do weddings, but I've got to say, the hardest thing I do, and probably any other minister or anyone who's ever done it does, is to probably take a funeral. They're the most difficult things that we have to do. And I've been affected by myself this recently. My auntie died recently, and I had to take her funeral. So on the plus side, I had her in the Secret Santa. So. But anyway, you'll be aware that there's 2 types of funerals. Yeah, there's the burial, where you put the hole in the ground, and there's the crematorium where the bodies go and get disposed of, shall we say. And again in college I said, you know, have you got any advice? I've never done a burial before. I've never done a crema first, but I'll get to that in a minute, but I've never done a burial. And I said, have you got any advice for me when I'm doing a burial? I don't know what I'm doing, you know. And they said, yeah, one thing, don't fall in. I said, cheers, Einstein. I kind of figured that one out myself, you know, don't fall in. But my first funeral in the crematorium, in Thornton Crematorium in Bootle, was I'll never forget it, to be honest. Because, as I said, I'm dyslexic, I'm nervous, which isn't good, right? I haven't got a clue what I'm doing because it's my first funeral. There's all buttons to press. There's a button to press, button for the music, button for the curtains to open, buttons for the curtains to close, another button, which I just left that well alone. I just shot out the building. And it's my first funeral, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, and I'm really nervous, so I thought to myself, I'll write everything down so I don't make a mistake. Because making a mistake in a funeral would be awful, wouldn't it? Look at the minister. Make a mistake in a wedding, not too bad, everyone's in a happy mood, unless you mention the ex-girlfriend's name by mistake. Then there's a bit of upset, but in a funeral, if you make a mistake in a funeral, it's really tough, and it's really wrong. So I thought, I'll write everything down, so I don't make a mistake. Because I'm a genius, don't forget. So I wrote everything down. I was stood at the front of the crematorium, checking my notes as the coffin was coming in to I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah. I suddenly realised I forgot to put the name down of the deceased. Yeah. I mean, I think it's Hilda, but I can't remember. Suddenly, I've got Chris Tarrant in my head. I mean, to be honest, I've looked up on 50-50 or phone a friend. Just can't ask the audience, can I? You know what I'm saying? To be fair though, I was glad it was him and not Noel Evans. I wasn't under that box for no offer. I started to panic and I thought, I'm looking around, I'll find a clue, there must be something. And as the coffin was coming up, they had the flowers on top of the lid. Have you seen the big capital letter flowers that they have these days? Yeah. And I seen the flowers and I thought to myself, oh yes, I seen the name. Anne. I thought, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you. You do exist. Thank you. It was only as I opened my eyes and looked again, I realised my dyslexia had kicked in. It was actually Nan. God, they're going to kill me. I'm going to get murdered. I was thinking of failing a heart attack or something. What can I do? And I was just about to leg it, to be honest. And they put a black and white photograph on the coffin lid. They don't always do this at every funeral, but on this one they did. Which was a good job really, because I was looking at this black and white photograph and I was looking at it and I was thinking, you were pretty fit in your day, weren't you? No, I was thinking, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? And in a moment of divine inspiration and an absolute stab in the dark, the name Jean dropped into my head. And I said, it's Jean Chris, final answer. It wasn't you. To be honest, you're taking it better than they did. It was Hilda all along. She just stuck with me gutters and I thought to myself, oh, this is terrible. There was people shouting at me and all this sort of stuff. I thought, I'll just get to the committal. I'll just get to the last bit, the committal. The words that I'm sure most people will know, those famous words of the committal. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. And I was just about to press the button on their loved one's final journey, and my phone in my pocket. And I can hear Rihanna. Now, I don't know, I'm not a big Rihanna fan. I don't know whether there's any big Rihanna fans in here tonight, but I can hear Rihanna and the song Love the Way You Lie, which is ironic in itself. And these words, so you need to listen carefully. the words were just going to stand here and watch me burn. Could have been worse. It could have been, oh, Nan, what's your name? I'm the Reverend Alan Finnegan. I'm available for weddings, for funerals, and for the occasional flagging job that pays for me holidays. Thank you, you've been great. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.